How did you like the interviews?
I loved it, but I think we should also let the audience know that the reason why we're sitting at the table here this afternoon as well is because of this partnership.
Yes,
and building relationships, right? And so it's through the work of this partnership that we call Building Our Future, right? And and getting to know who your neighbors are and who lives, works, and plays in this community, that we're having this dialogue right now. So this I am going to be a life learner until life learner for sure. Did I say something else?
No, that's what you said. No, I just
we're gonna edit this too.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna always edit. We're always editing. But that's awesome. Hi guys, how's it going today? My name is Rob Moore with 4D Business Group and Tatjana Bicanin. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here in the community.
Yep. So thanks for having me on. And I'm Tatjana Bicanin, and I am the Executive Director with Building Our Future, which is a partnership throughout Kenosha County to make sure that all of our young people are reaching their full potential, and we say from cradle to career. So we want everyone to have the opportunity to climb that social and economic mobility ladder. As far as me as an individual and being a leader within the community, born and raised here, I've left it a couple of times to travel the world. I certainly believe that the world is your best classroom, and then I always come back. And now I get the good fortune to do important work like this, bringing the community together to support our young people.
I love that. I love that, Tatjana. So you left, and tell me a little bit about that. Why did you leave, and you came back? I think it was probably school focused. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, so I went through the Kenosha Unified School District system, so the K-12 system, and then actually did my undergrad at UW Parkside. And from there, started working in the nonprofit sector for a couple years, and then decided to go to undergraduate school. So I went into the big city, the University of Chicago. And from there, went to even much larger city, London, so the UK. So I got to
London. Get excited. How was that?
It was awesome. So worked hard in getting that work permit and worked for the local government there, supporting young people and families. So I did that for just over a year, and while being in London, because it's so central in Europe, did a lot of traveling, and then came back home here for a number of years to manage another nonprofit in this community, and then from there, in my 30s, decided to join the Peace Corps. And I had the good fortune of being in the Caribbean for 2.5 years.
Oh my God.
So in St. Lucia, the island, and I got to work with little ones. So I worked at an all-girls primary school, Laborie Girls, and we had a little thing that Laborie Girls must shine. And I had the good fortune of working there. And then I came back and got introduced to this work, to Building Our Future. And at that point, the partnership did not have a name. So we were just called Kenosha Strive, which Strive Together is our national organization. So we're one of 70 partnerships across the United States doing this important work.
That is so exciting. That's so amazing. You're very cultured. So you were here, and then you just jumped around a lot, and you made intentional decisions to be where you are now. Or not. So fast forwarding to St. Lucia, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so St. Lucia, originally I was supposed to be placed in the Middle East, and then it got changed to the Eastern Caribbean.
Wow. And
so in St. Lucia, I was in the southern part of the island in a little fishing village called Laborie. And so great experience. We were the class of '85. And I think there was about 30 of us Peace Corps volunteers, and as you can imagine, of all ages. Majority of them right out of college in their 20s, and then Peace Corps volunteers that had worked a full career and had then retired and wanted to give back in other ways. And so there was me and another friend of mine who's become a good friend of mine, Shawnette. So we were the only ones representing the 30s, and we're like, what did we just do? But it was good fun. So I got to work with young people. Again, I worked at an all-girls primary school, so kindergarten to 6th grade. really helping them in life skills and promoting a love for literacy. And so when I joined Library Girls Primary School, we had a new principal, Principal Donna, and one thing we both said that we needed at that school was a library and / a learning center. And so we developed this space. The vision was if these girls, if the only thing they remember from their primary years, something of joy where they were able to socialize and, I have a space that created thought-provoking ideas and innovation and so forth like that. That's what we wanted this learning center / library to be like. And so I'm happy to say after I did my service there for 2.5 years, I went back 2 years later. And that library and the learning center is still up and running. And books continue to be donated to keep it fresh and what the young people want to read. And so I'm very close to my Lucian family, so I'll say they're my family number 2. And it was pretty amazing as well that I leave Kenosha, Wisconsin to go to St. Lucia, and my host family there are wearing shirts that say Wisconsin on it, or Green Bay Packers, or the Brewers. So I was like, oh, this is crazy. So still very close with them to this day.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go there.
So I did go there. So I finished my Peace Corps service in 2015.
No, I mean you're going to go there again to meet them again.
Well, I would love to go back there again. Yes,
sure.
I went back 2 years later. I went back 2 years later in 2017, and then I've just been busy on this work, and then obviously a pandemic and all that too. But I definitely would want to go back.
The pandemic has definitely affected a lot of different individuals. Across the nation, across the globe, and it has definitely impacted people on different economic levels in the community or whatnot. And going to where we are now, you saw Strive Together.
Yep.
And you wanted to make an introduction. How did that really work, and how did you cultivate that relationship?
So Jean Moran, who comes from the business community, and has been involved on boards like CABA, the Kenosha Area Business Alliance. So it was her vision, what can we do to support our schools, right? Schools can't do it alone. Right. And then through there and having conversations within the business community and the community at large, we were introduced to Strive Together, this national framework, and how to do this work that we refer to as collective impact. Okay. And then from there, we held a large community summit back in August of 2016 at UW Parkside with about 160, 180 in attendance. So from all over the community, the business community, nonprofit, faith-based, K-12, higher ed, to give us the thumbs up or the thumbs down to go ahead with this initiative. And so clearly we got the thumbs up. And knowing right away from the onset that this partnership would move at the speed of trust. Relationships are certainly at the core of this work.
I love that. I love that. So you seem like there's a great plan that's at hand with Building Our Future, and they made the name change when you came aboard. Is that what happened? So
this has been completely community led, and so when we were just exploring the idea, if we wanted to go forth with this framework, the theory of action through Strive Together, we were just calling ourselves Kenosha Strive. After that summit, again with the 160, 180 in attendance at UW Parkside there in the ballroom, when we got the thumbs up to go ahead with this initiative, this partnership, then there were community leaders coming together, different subgroups, and one of the subgroups was to create a name for us, and then develop our vision and our mission, and etc. like that. So within Strive Together is across the country in 70 different communities. They all have, each partnership has their own name. And so just for some knowledge, here in Wisconsin, we are one of 4 Strive Together communities. So there's one in Racine, Milwaukee, and Green Bay.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then Kenosha came on, and then our community named us Building Our Future.
I love
Which
that.
I love the name, it's so appropriate.
It is good,
Yeah.
It is great, it's great.
Yep.
Because essentially what you're doing, and we're getting into the community now, is that you're building the future from cradle to
career.
career.
Correct.
And that's so huge because that's how you can start to, in a sense, for lack of better words, change community on a level from the cradle. And then, hey, what are those steps and what does it look like on, making career choices or being part of, different initiatives. How and talk a little bit more about. I know we haven't talked about it, but talk about the data that's behind building our future, Strive Together, what that looks like, and how you guys use that. And things of that nature.
Yeah. So to go back again, so we're having that summit in August of 2016. The first thing we were charged with was developing a baseline. Mm-hmm. Where are we at across the cradle to career continuum, right? And then since then, we've been, we produce every year our annual impact report. Our website has a wealth of data, dashboards on there, but and so much data on housing, employment, obviously data on educational outcomes across the cradle to career continuum. But we're data driven in the sense that we need to know where we're at so we know what to improve, right? Mm-hmm. And so data is really not to explain the why, it's to engage, are we on track to creating more equitable outcomes for all of our students, right? Because we're not held accountable to the data, we're held accountable to the people. So behind every data set, we're talking about a young person there. And so we use data to inform our decisions and to know if we're climbing up that ladder to social and economic mobility.
That's huge. That's huge. So kind of going back to building our future, and also with the organization as a whole, with Strive Together. What do you feel that you and your organization are accountable for, and why?
Yeah, so building our future.
It's a little cheat sheet, by the way. It's a cheat sheet. This is what we're doing. So.
I gotta have my little bullet points right here, right? No, but we're held accountable to the community, right? Mm-hmm. It's to our young people. It's to their families. Everyone is busy within their own respective organizations, trying to create, the best outcomes for the families and the young people that they're serving, right? And so we're accountable, like, how do we unite all the different entities together around these shared outcomes that we want to improve on, right? So we're building this civic infrastructure. I know I'm using a lot of terms here, but we're like this backbone entity for the community to bring all the different entities together, right? Because it's going to require all of us, right?
That makes sense.
No one single organization can address all these, adaptive challenges that we have within this community. So we're accountable to continue to build that culture of continuous improvement, really building a culture of collaboration amongst all the different entities, accountability using data to gauge if we're on track or not, and then that trust, right? So we're not pointing fingers at anyone. We all need to have skin in the game here.
Right. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. So you said we all have to have skin in the game.
Yep.
Here. Do you see it on the local level that a lot of people don't really have? They say they have skin in the game, and they really don't have skin in the game, or what does that look like?
I think everyone is just trying to find their place and how can they best contribute and make the most impact.
Me right here.
You're so funny, Rob. So I think we're a catalyst for systems level change, right? So one of the things that we said in the ballroom when we were launching this initiative back in the summer of 2016 is that we are program rich but system poor. So what does that mean? We have a lot of programs, a lot of different resources, but as a system, are we working together? And does the system allow everyone access to those same opportunities?
Does that system allow everyone the same opportunities? That's huge, because I think when we talked before a while back or whatnot, and you were saying that there's a lot of programs and we don't know what those programs really, how do they measure the money given to those programs? What can we do to either shut down certain programs, possibly, and then focus on more of a system or strengthen those programs in some kind of way, shape, or form. Right? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, we're not necessarily looking to shut down
No,
programs. No, but it's like, what programs what are our young people and our families responding to, right? How do we know that with a particular program or service that our families or our young people are now better off? How are we measuring success? And is it inclusive, right? And creating that sense of belonging for all.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Well, I think.
And you can't do that without looking at your data, right? And we do that by building this culture of continuous improvement, right? So where are we at right now? And just checks and balances, I guess.
That's huge, because a lot of people here in the community, they support building our future, and they want to get more people in front of you so they know what you're doing and seeing the work that you're able to do here in the community on a local level with Strive together, building our future.
Like anything, it takes time, right? Yeah. And so I feel like we're building this movement.
Sure.
Creating some shared language and understanding, because when you're bringing the entire community together, right? Business community, the nonprofit, the faith-based community, our education partners, K-12, higher ed, and so forth like that. We all come with our own jargon and our own language, right?
Yeah.
So it's creating that some shared language and understanding. And data helps us do that too, right? Numbers helps us bring us all together. Like, okay, yeah, I see that visual. So here's the needle that we're trying to move here. So, this partnership is countywide, right? And so we serve the whole county, and our philosophy is if you live, work, or play in this community, this is your partnership. And so, it goes beyond just myself, and we're a team of 4, right? So it's myself, data manager, community engagement manager / college and career readiness, and then our director of impact and strategy, right? So the partnership is beyond just the 4 of us.
You're allowing everyone who works, plays, and lives to be a part of that here in the county. I think that's huge. That's awesome. So you have a huge heart. Just being here. Yep. I mean, I think so.
Yes.
I know you laugh at it like no. Tatjana?
Yes, I have a huge heart.
So that's exciting. So I'm going to kind of change gears here just a little bit. And then I have a couple more questions to ask for you and whatnot. So this is a great question. If you had a choice of a superpower, you probably heard this before.
Yeah.
What superpower would it be? Either between invisibility or flying, and why?
So those are my 2 options.
That's it.
It would be flying. And that might stem from my love for traveling. And going back, that I think the world is the best classroom. So I'm fascinated by different cultures, and just the way that life is not linear. It's messy, right?
It can be.
It can be. And so I guess a superpower I would choose would be to fly and just to take in as much as I can.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So I like.
Did I answer it correctly?
Am
I interpreting it correctly?
Well, building our futures. I think everyone that's in that group. You said in the executive group, the core group that you have is 4 individuals, including yourself.
Yeah, the team
the team that you have.
And then we have our executive board, leadership table. Yeah, but the team.
The big thing about that is that many people were asked this question, and they found out that 75% of the people that answered this question, Tatjana, and they said they wanted to fly, they were leaders. So that shows, definitely some good leadership. Look at that. She won. What?
I'm like, did I win or did I not win?
She won. So I mean, that's super exciting, just to be able to know, hey, not only are you, in a leadership position, but you are also, you're just doing it automatically from what you've learned, what you do from your culture and all these other things and so on and so forth.
Constantly learning.
Yes.
I am going to be a life learner until...
Life learner.
Life learner, for sure. Did I say something else?
No, that's what you said. No, I just.
We're going to edit this too.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, that's good. Yeah, we're gonna always edit. We're always editing. But that's awesome. Let me ask you another crazy question.
All right.
Okay. So you're given an elephant.
I'm given an elephant.
Okay, and you cannot sell it.
Okay.
Or give it away.
Okay.
What do you do with that elephant?
Feed it.
It's your.
So I cannot sell it or give it away.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this living, it's not a metaphor, it's like a...
It's a real elephant. Actually, you can touch it. I mean,
okay.
You can't taste it. Don't taste the elephant.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and I'm a vegetarian anyways, but...
Okay. Like a vegetarian, like I eat eggs vegetarian?
Yeah, and seafood actually.
And seafood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so I don't eat meat.
Okay.
What do I do with this elephant? I guess I nurture the elephant. It becomes family.
Becomes family.
Thinking of the cost that's going to cost too of feeding the elephant. Especially in this inflation that we're in.
We're getting a sponsorship for that. Oh my gosh! Yes, inflation is happening.
Yes, it's a real thing.
I think it's going to be.
I'm thinking, how much does an elephant require, food-wise?
I know a horse can cost anywhere from $300 to $700 a month.
Yeah.
And if you want to get even more expensive, depending on what else you want to do with that elephant, at least in this area, that's how much it will cost for a horse.
Yep.
So you think what elephant would be like 3 horses maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So when I think of this elephant, right, this big elephant, a lot of times we'll say the big elephant in the room, right? And so if I can't sell it, or what was the other thing?
Or give it away.
Or give it away, I sure the heck am not going to waste my time trying to figure out how to work around the elephant.
Right.
So I'm bringing the elephant into the fold. How are we going to work together?
They're gonna,
and share some expenses too, especially the feeding expenses.
We're gonna need some sponsorships. We're gonna be like 10 of them, right?
So I gotta ask Rob. So what's telling about that answer?
No, I mean, there's really no right or wrong answer for this question.
Right.
Some people said if they really don't want to deal with the elephant, in some kind of way, they would set it free.
Ah.
So that would be one.
Okay.
I wouldn't know what to do with that elephant.
Right.
I'm like, man, I don't want this elephant.
Right.
But what does setting it free look like? Too?
Right.
Do you go to the origin of where the elephant came from?
Right.
Release it there.
Right.
Wherever that is, where that may be.
Right.
So there's no right or wrong answer.
Interesting.
So let me ask you this question here.
Which one?
Tell me about a unique story that inspired you doing your service work in the community.
Well, I don't know how unique it is, but I've always had a passion for our young people and for our families. And I don't know if that stemmed from, my dad being from Eastern Europe, so being first generation.
First generation. Okay.
First generation, on my father's side, first generation on both my parents' side, to go to school, go to college, and so forth like that. And so I'm just fascinated by, relationships matter, and our young people deserve the very best. Yeah. And to have all the opportunities. Right now, it's they might not want all the opportunities, but they should be presented all the opportunities as they're finding their way, right? Mm-hmm. And so. I think just for my love for young people and our youth, and that's the path I followed in the nonprofit sector, right after college, my undergrad, and then have continued doing that after graduate school as well.
That's huge. That's huge.
So there wasn't a particular thing, just knowing that our young people need, first of all, we need to get out of their way because they have the answers.
Okay.
And then we need to be cheerleaders and advocate on their behalf too, right?
You know, I mean, some people would say the other part of that is that they need to have great leadership. So in order to lead,
I agree with that
you
too.
have to have, you know, you need to learn how to follow
Yep.
and whatnot. And I think that's huge as well. And then cheerlead them on or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's different situations. I know, for instance, my son last night, we had a wrestling meet.
Yep.
And I was a pretty good wrestler growing up.
Yep.
For a year or two, maybe it wasn't so good.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, I started getting better after I practiced anyway. He went out there and you know he didn't win.
Yeah.
For his team. So I think that got him down. And then, but I think there was maybe something else that was going on between some other kids or whatever on the bus on the way back home. But you know, I was just telling him, hey, you did a great job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's okay. You know, sometimes you lose some, but you learn from that situation you won and whatnot, and then you can cheerlead them on in that way,
right?
As well. I mean, is that what you mean, or
yeah,
am I totally off?
No, I just feel our young people know what they want, right?
Yeah.
And I just think they have to feel empowered. And that when they do lend their voice, that we really are listening. Right. And so I'm a auntie of 6, so I have 4.
High five on that.
Yeah. So I have 4 nephews and 2 nieces, and I look at my one niece who is in 2nd grade, so she's 7, and she is a leader. And has been a leader for a while. In fact, when she started 2nd grade this year, her 2nd grade teacher was informed by her 1st grade teacher that if she had to leave the classroom for the day or what have you, she knew she would be in good hands, that my niece could run the classroom.
That is exciting.
And so that spirit, and already demonstrating leadership like that, we shouldn't try to confine that and put that in a box. And so we should be encouraging more of that. Right. And so, and I say that for all my, for my nephews as well. But when I look at my nieces at that young of an age, that's what I'm talking about, leadership and supporting that.
That's huge. I like that. Supporting it. Being supportive sounds like it's really, really important.
Yep.
Supporting people to do better, having the opportunities in front of them so they can make those choices. Now, some people would say as well that sometimes you'll have all these options. I'll put this book, this here, that there, and you have it in front of them. But they decide to go around those options and make other choices or whatnot, even though that they have those options in front of them. What do you have to say? What would you say to somebody that was thinking about going around those options and say, hey?
So our thing personally, and then even with our work here at Building Our Future, so we want everyone to reach their full potential. Sure. And we're not here to define what that means for you. So what success means for me could be completely different what 100%. Success means for you, Rob, and your family, right?
That's so true.
We just want everyone to have the opportunity to be able to reach their full potential.
I love that. High five. That was great. You did good. I love this. Thank you. With everything else, we brought this book out. We have Upstream. Yeah. As you guys all know, if you do know Tatjana, she talks about upstream. She screams it from the mountaintops.
I do.
But there's some great information in here, and I missed the book discussion because I had a wrestling meet that was going on that day with my other son, Caden. So I didn't even get to get filled in on that in the discussion or anything of that nature. Did you guys come up with anything, or was there any kind of hot topics with that? And then I want you to also talk about this book a little bit more.
Yeah, so this book right here. So let me answer the book discussion that we had like a week or so ago.
Yes.
Yeah, there was about, I think, Yeah, it was a great discussion. So we had community leaders from different entities, different parts of the community. And so with Upstream, I think I even have the worksheet here. There's a book club guiding discussion questions. Okay. So we just went through this worksheet. So very thought-provoking.
Nice.
And as we're continuing to wrestle, so what does that look like, feel like, and how can we continue to, how do we devote some resources in our time to be thinking upstream, right? Instead of just being reactive after the fact. This work is, it's a both and. You're taking care of the child that's hungry, but you also need to get to the root cause of why that child's hungry, right? Exactly. So it's a both and. And so this book here, so Upstream, The Quest to Solve Problems Before They Happen by Dan Heath, is a book that we provided everyone a copy of, everyone on our executive board a copy. Last year, I think it was? Yeah, last winter. And so we were delighted when CABA, with their Inspire event, brought Dan Heath into this community in October. And there was about 500 plus in attendance, including some of our young people in our K-12 system. Got to hear directly from him how every system is perfectly designed to get the results it gets. So that's kind of the hook right there. So I just said, every system is perfectly designed to get the results it gets. If you want to understand, so what does that mean? What is Tatjana talking about right now? I'm going to encourage you to read the book. And you can, Building Our Future is on, I think, every social media platform. Well, not everyone, but Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. And you can leave a comment right there on some of your reactions here. But this is essentially...
I see a lot of highlights.
Oh, yeah. So this is a book that's marked up here. I mean, this is what we try to do every day with our partners, is to... It's like if you're looking at Google Maps and you're zoning in, right? Because you're lost and you're looking for, a direction or a location you're trying to get to. But if you want to zoom out to have that broader view, right? So that's what we try to do with our partners. Like, let's kind of zoom out a little bit and really look at what are the barriers, the root causes that are getting in the way of our young people reaching their full potential.
That is so huge. You have such a big heart, being able to, give everybody this book, but also, reading it and then suggesting it. So I feel like you have like a little bit of a hand with the Inspire event. Just a little bit.
We were just, we were promoting the book.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So if there's anything that you would like someone or like the community to know about you, Tatjana, or the world to know about you, what would you want one thing for them to know about you? Or maybe I'll ask this better question.
Okay.
What's the legacy that you would like to leave behind when you leave this earth?
I want everyone in our community, I'm focused in on our community, right? Kenosha County. But I just want our young people, everyone to be seen, heard, and know that what they have to say and contribute matters, right? Change starts with you. And so I don't know, I'm not worried about the legacy. This is not about me. Okay. It's not even about my team of 4. This is about the community and our young people. And so I want to make sure that I want to be a part of making this community the best place to live, work, and play.
I love that.
For all.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I think that's there's something to be said with that. It's a very humbling thing. It's not about you. It's about everybody else. If people could worry about more people, other people, and they could talk and then really have a genuine zeal for other individuals, I think that Kenosha would be in a better place, or the world would be in a better place, or whatnot. But unfortunately, we have a lot of selfishness in this world. From what it seems like, and a lot of people are really, looking to help anyone out. But I believe, from what it sounds like, from what you discussed with Building Our Future, you're really focused on the data, and you're focusing on also going upstream and finding out where that issue is, whether it's working with them with families, with young adults, kids, younger kids. I don't know how to say babies or toddlers or whatever have you, because that's part of the cradle to the career or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, am I right? Or
yeah, well, we're really focused on relationships. Yes, this partnership
really
moves, not works. This partnership moves at the speed of trust. Relationships matter. This is relational, not just a simple transaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So relationships matter. We're focused on building that trust, and with that, building a culture of collaboration, accountability, and trust.
So building trust is really important in building that relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship, having, instead of a transaction.
We're not pointing fingers at anyone. Like, why are third grade reading proficiencies, at what they are?
Sure.
Or why, we are asking those questions, but we all hold accountability to that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just fall on a school system.
Yeah.
It's a community.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, so it's just, having better, harder, more authentic conversations with our partners.
I love that. I love that. And your partners are specifically the community.
Yeah.
And then, why do you love Kenosha?
Why do I love Kenosha? So many reasons. Look, we got this beautiful lakefront here.
You have a beautiful view here.
Yeah, so we work downtown. Yeah, go ahead.
Although there is another place here in Kenosha that has like such a great view.
Okay.
It's like, oh my god.
Do you want to do a shameless plug right now?
No, I don't want to do that. No, it's not even mine. So
okay.
Not even mine.
Yeah, so we got this beautiful lakefront here.
So beautiful.
Beautiful parks here.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part of why I love Kenosha is just the people.
Mm.
We have a lot of young people and leaders within this community that want to make a bigger and better impact, right? And it's like, we're not here to be right, we're here to get it right. So we have a lot to learn. So
I like that.
and I appreciate the level of curiosity, to continue wanting to learn more.
I like that. We're not here to be right, but we're here to
get it right.
Get it right.
Something like that. And I have to give credit because I listen to a lot of Brene Brown.
Okay.
That's one of her quotes. Like, I'm not here to be right, I'm here to get it right.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So that gives you the position of, hey, I was wrong, and that accountability piece that you were saying.
Yeah.
There's a possibility, hey, I was wrong, I did wrong, but now I'm accountable for this, and I'm gonna make a plan. I'm gonna have an action plan and steps to take care of this issue or these issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Well, I really enjoyed our interview. I think it was awesome. I'm gonna ask you another question. We leave this interview, we're gone, and then you find a lottery ticket that has no name on it.
Yeah.
For $10 million.
$10 million.
$10 million. What do you do with that lottery ticket?
Yeah.
And it's yours.
It's mine. I think I invest it back into the community. Yeah.
How would you do that? How would you invest it back in the community? Like, what do you mean?
Well, I would invest it in the work that we're doing because I 100% believe in our mission and our vision at building our future. And I would invest it in ways that we could support our partners to be able to have the time and the bandwidth to think and go and move upstream.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for that. I think that says a lot. It sounds like your heart is really here. Even if you were to get that money, you'd still be here, and you would want to still be. You even have a louder voice here in the community because you'd be able to, affect so many more lives. You'd be able to set up so many more systems that are effective in the community. I'm just thinking, I'm speaking for you, right? That's what she's gonna do, guys. So when she gets, no, I don't know. So I think you.
Are you telling me the lottery ticket's waiting for me outside somewhere?
I hope it is. No, if it is, I don't know. I'm gonna go outside first as well.
Yeah. And I might go on a vacation or two as well.
That is so. Oh yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. My focus is to focus on more community partners, people that are in the community trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
Some of our leaders, such as yourself,
Yeah.
and also talking to some businesses that are thriving and maybe just getting there, or maybe they're not thriving or whatnot, and just meeting those individuals and having conversations with them. That's the focus of this channel for my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's called Your Spotlight. So this is your spotlight for today.
Awesome.
And thank you so much for being a part of that. And it's something new for me.
Yeah.
How did you like the interviews?
I loved it, but I think we should also let the audience know that the reason why we're sitting at the table here this afternoon as well is because of this partnership.
Yes.
And building relationships,
yes,
right?
yes.
So it's through the work of this partnership that we call Building Our Future, right? And and getting to know who your neighbors are and who lives, works, and plays in this community, that we're having this dialogue right now. So just the power in that, just to sit with that for a second as well.
There is a lot about that, because when I first started, because I'm a transplant from Illinois, and then I moved here in '97, blah blah blah, long story. Now I'm here and I'm talking to Tatjana, right? So I got a chance to get involved with the Uptown cleanup process.
Yeah.
And
we launched that in April last.
So many great community leaders that are there, just giving their all, and being able to take and bring my family out as well, and help clean up that area. And then I ran into you. I said, we got to get together. And then we got together. I think it was like a week later or something of that nature. You're like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? I've never seen you before. I heard something about you, but but that's awesome. And this is exactly how it works, with networking. I think networking is so important. I believe a lot of people kind of leave relationships on the table because they don't network, and they don't get to care to know our people on this personal level, because it doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes you may have a perception about somebody, but what you get to do is you get to meet with them. You say, okay, I've heard this, but let me see how is this person? Oh, okay, all right. So that's a little bit different. So getting to know somebody for yourself is so important. It's so important. So at least that's my belief. That's what my father used to always tell me. He said, get to know somebody. And get to talk to them or whatever. See what kind of makes them tick. And then you have these probing questions that I'm asking you. And like I said, I just appreciate the opportunity to be able to be here, have this channel, and get started out. I have 20 subscribers right now. 20. So I'm so excited about it. I hope you can subscribe too.
We will.
So make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, like it, put the notification icon on. And is there any events that are coming up that you would like to talk about, or something that you would like to have like a shameless plug for yourself right now?
Nothing.
Or for the
community at large. The one thing, is we're nearing the end of 2021, right, and heading into a new year. So we have a really important election coming up in 2022, right? So a primary in February, the 15th of February, and then the general election on April 5th. So we have 3 candidates right now that are looking for the county exec position. County executive position, and then we have, with our school board, we have 3 seats that are up for re-election. So I think we have to get to know who these individuals are and learn about them, and so that we can be informed when we go to the voting booth. So, and I think that is what happens at a local level impacts us day to day.
Oh gosh, yes.
And so I cannot say that enough. And so that would be one thing that I would want to lift up, is that we have a very important election coming up here this spring.
That is definitely true. I met all the candidates and they seem
For
really
which
nice.
The county exec?
For the
or-
county exec
okay.
part. So
Yep.
I think there's 3 of them
Yep.
and whatnot that they're running.
Yep.
And all great individuals.
Yep.
Meeting them or trying to do research on their website.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. You and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago when we met, about how a lot of people are leaving their lives on the table, I guess, in a sense, by not really finding out what's going on in local government and
Yep.
doing the voting process or whatnot as well.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're going out and voting or having information about what's happening in your community.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's great. And then what was the other thing that you?
No, that's the main
That's
one
the main
right
one?
now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tatjana. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
This was a great interview for me. This is my.
I wanted to have it on hand if I do.
All right. that
Should I
sounds
have
good.
it in here for marketing materials?
I actually tell them that you wrote part. Did you write the foreword? You would have thought.
Should get some money from this book. All right.
You should.
Dan, are you listening?
She's-
I've been promoting this like crazy.
She wrote the foreword, but he did not put it in the book. This is the backstory on Upstream. Upstream's a great book, and it talks about stopping the problems before they happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think she read the whole book and
Yeah.
gave the foreword before they started printing.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's true. That's what happened.